Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the 10 fragrances I'd take if I was stuck on a desert island. Yeah, that's a toughie. So this video was originally done by the Perfume Guy. Feel free to go ahead and check out his channel. Actually, this was requested like 2 months ago, maybe a little more. It was like middle of October. So I put it off for a long time. Sorry about that. You know, you gotta get a lot of requests, and sometimes I don't get to them or get to them really late. So let's jump into it. 10 fragrances, desert island. Let's go. Now, of course, before we jump into this, I do have to say that if I were stranded on a desert island, that fragrances probably wouldn't be the first thing that pop into my mind. You know, probably want to have shelter, drinking water, food, something to defend myself, maybe something to fish, you know, stuff like that. I think fragrances, that's pretty far down the list, but we'll go for it anyway. Also, no big discontinued ones here. Usual caveat. First up, let's go with Virgin Island water. We couldn't be more generic with that first choice, could we? Got coconut, lime, rum, and sugar. So it's this boozy, tropical, fresh scent. And really, if I'm gonna be out on a desert island, which I'm hoping is a desert island, maybe that has some tropical aspects, you know, so I'm not just literally in a desert, because I'm gonna die within like a day, but whatever. This one is supposed to put you in that tropical frame of mind, that kind of Virgin Island getaway, essentially. So I would take that. I would also take Dior Homme Cologne. This one's super fresh, refreshing, and brisk, so it could help maybe at least mentally stave off some of those rays from the sun. Now, the performance on this is not great, but frankly, if I'm stuck alone, it doesn't really matter. It's just gonna be about me, I guess. And spraying this on does kind of relax me, put me in a better mood, and kind of gives this enlivening push as well. It's a really nice scent. You know, it smells like iced lemonade, some people will say. So I'd take that one along. Now, this next one is completely different. It's not a really fresh kind of scent, and it's more of a desert scent. So I figured let's take that along too. Heck with it. It's LDDM from Tower, L'air du Desert MAROCAIN. Yeah, that sounds really poor with the pronunciation. This has amber, cedar, coriander, and labdanum. It is one of my favorite fragrances. I love the way this thing smells. Very warm, spicy, extremely rich. It's got this feeling, as they say, of the wind blowing in off the desert and through a spice market. And that's actually a pretty good way to describe it. So this one obviously is going to be much more of a fall and winter time type scent. It's for cooler weather, but you know, if it gets cold on that desert island, maybe something like that would warm me up a little bit. Next up, Light Blue Eau Intense from Dolce & Gabbana. Yeah, this one's going to give me that sea salty vibe of the beach while I'm there. It's also got juniper, citrus musk, and amberwood. This is one of the best light blue flankers for men, basically right underneath Forever with me, but with Light Blue Forever, that one's all about the grapefruit. This one has more of that sea salty kind of feel, so I think it would be better suited. So Light Blue Intense, I would throw that into my make-believe bag and take that along. And I'd also bring cheapo Nautica Voyage. I guess this one would be my cheapie of choice for this make-believe list, because it's far and away the most affordable fragrance out of everything else. Apple, green notes, lotus, and musk. This one maybe would remind me a little bit of simpler times when I wasn't stranded on a desert with a bag full of fragrance that I can't eat or drink. All my skin is melting off because I have no shelter, but at least I have Nautica. Yay. Really though, Nautica Voyage, great fragrance. You know, this thing costs like $20. That one more obviously summertime scent, spring and summer, maybe early fall as well if you want to stretch it out a little bit. It's a really nice casual fragrance, office safe. You can pull it off about anywhere. And it's not a bad travel fragrance either. I mean, the name is Voyage, of course, but this stuff is so safe you can pull it off anywhere. And if you lose it or it gets busted, you're not going to feel that bad because you can replace it for next to nothing. Now this next one, it gives me a little more density, a little bit more richness, a little bit more going on, a little more complexity, and all those little mores added up to something a lot more. It's Sultan vetiver from Nishane. Whew. Still love the way this thing smells. Dang. Extraits of Parfum. This one has a lot of different takes on vetiver in the scent. So it's not just vetiver. There's multiple different types of vetiver used, so you get all the different facets that vetiver can bring. There's also an neroli in here, there's tonka, there's leather. Actually, a lot of the notes are on the front of the bottle down here. So there's also a bergamot and absinthe, among other notes. And this would be the fragrance for me, being the king of my own little dominion, my own little desert island, I guess. If it was super ultra hot outside, I probably wouldn't go for this one, but if it cooled down a little bit in the evenings, I would rock that. That thing is absolutely amazing smelling. You can pull that off anywhere, anytime, and you'll smell like a classy gentleman with 1,000,000 books. Next, a Tom Ford Costa AZZURRA. This is my favorite from the line. Nowadays, you can find this in their signature collection, so it doesn't come in this cool blue bottle anymore, not in the private blend. It's got driftwood, seaweed, citrus, and vetiver. This one may be the most divisive of the main releases in the line. So going up against Mandarino di Amalfi and Neroli Portofino, I'd say Costa AZZURRA stands out the most. It's one of those fragrances where if you like it a lot, then it's gonna kind of put this one above those other fragrances. But if you smell it and that whole seaweed, driftwood kind of feel that this doesn't really work for your skin, it's gonna flop right to the bottom of those three fragrances. For me though, obviously, it's my favorite. I think it's got the most character, the most personality. So I'm really glad that it's back in the signature line and people can still pick it up. More affordable in the signature line, but it's still Tom Ford, which means it's not actually affordable. I think 100 ml at full retail is like $190 for Costa AZZURRA in the signature line. So yeah, so that's what I mean when I say more affordable. So Costa AZZURRA, go ahead and take that one along, the old private blend. Next one is going to be from Hermes. It's JARDIN sur le Nil. This one is just one of those fragrances that kind of puts me in a great headspace. It just smells so nice. If you've smelled this, you know what I'm talking about. So this one I'd really bring along to act as my fragrance therapist or something. Spray it on and just be like, haha, things are gonna be okay. It's got grapefruit, mango, florals, and musk. It's supposed to smell like a garden on the Nile River. This one was done by Jean-Claude Elena, and it's one of those standout Hermes fragrances from the time period for me. This is one of those scents that I could smell 1,000,000 times and not get tired of. It does have a unisex scent profile, so women can pull this off just as easily. But this one, I think I would throw in there, like I said, just to try to pep me up sometimes. Now, the last couple fragrances are going to be more along the lines of LDDM, where they're more warm fragrances, in case it gets a little bit chilly out there. But I do have a bonus fragrance that I would contemplate throwing in here. I didn't want to include it officially because it's a Creed and I already did a Creed on here, but I'll just quickly throw it in anyway. AVENTUS cologne, mandarin orange, ginger, musk, and birch. Now, overall, I still prefer the original AVENTUS. So, in most situations, if you say you want this or you want the OG, I'm going to take the OG. But if we're talking a desert island where it's going to be hot as balls, then I guess I'll take this. It does work a little bit better in high heat situations in the sense that it doesn't have as much of that smoky birch that AVENTUS can't have. So it doesn't have as much of that oomph. It's what it says it is. It's AVENTUS cologne. It's AVENTUS freshened up a bit, with the edges scraped off. So that one's not official, but I wanted to mention it. This one is official. And it's Philip Plein, No Limits. It's this nice fake credit card bottle with the skull in the middle. No Limits spelled with a $sign instead of an S. It's the epitome of class. And with this fragrance, it would just put me in a good mood. I would spray on No Limits and I would sit down by my meager campfire and I would just think to myself, somewhere out there underneath these stars, Philip Plein is out there and he's hanging from a helicopter, from a Lamborghini attached to a helicopter with flaming chains. And he's just sitting there like a madman, spraying out fake $1 bills from his money gun, living the life, doing push-ups between supercars, one hand on one hood here, one hand on another here, surrounded by models and a guy rapping a song about himself, Philip Plein. Just bring me great comfort. to know that. This one does smell really nice though. It's got dark chocolate, leather, woods, some spices, tonka. It's a fragrance that does get a lot of hate because of Philip Plein, who he is. You know, it's it's pretty easy to look at that commercial, to look at the advertising and just go, never, no, no. And that's pretty much what I did. I thought it was going to be terrible, just absolutely horrible. Got it in, sprayed it on. It's really good. Really good. Yeah. What are you gonna do? A little bit Gucci Guilty Absolute, a little bit Fragrance One Black Tie, a little bit No Limits. Great scent. You know, if it's cold outside, I'll rock that. Last but not least, Roger Parfum Midsummer Dream. This one is a little bit more of a, we'll call it spring and fall kind of fragrance. Not really necessarily something I'd go for in winter, not really something I'd necessarily go for in summer either. Now it opens up with citrus, so it's got this bit of freshness off the top, but then it really settles into this kind of a little bit powdery, resinous, kind of sweet and slightly warm scent profile. You got a bit of spice in there, vetiver that comes out as it dries down. Once you hit that full dry down, you get a good amount of vetiver, which I absolutely love. And then vanilla, giving it kind of a sprinkle of sweetness throughout, melding together with the resins, what the vanilla does. Midsummer Dream is really nice. It's grown on me a bunch since I got this one in. I figure, go ahead and take that one. You know, if it's a good dream I'm after, stranded out there, maybe that one helps out. It's in the name, couldn't hurt. You know, give it a try. So there we go, guys. 10 desert island fragrances. Again, the perfume guy originally did this video. Go ahead and search him up, check out his channel. And sorry it took me so long to do this. People that requested it. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for me. Thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for your support. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.